Hey, Scott, how's it going?
Hey Al, good to see you. It's been quite a week that we've had this past week, but excited about our topic of this podcast.
Yeah, no, it's we're so excited to have well, first and foremost, I guess we should say a visual podcast. Now, you can listen to it all you want to, but we really want to make sure that you get your eyes on this one because we are announcing something that is going to change the industry for the better forever. And it is just the beginning. So we are super excited after a year's worth of work. Uh, we are finally
Pulling back.
showing everybody. Yeah, we're finally showing it. We're excited. So,
Yeah.
um,
If you're listening on Spotify or iTunes or something, would really encourage you, if you can, to head over to townhall.funspot.com. This is a visual podcast. You can listen and you'll learn some stuff, but you'll definitely want to watch.
yeah, and we have Matt Hubbard and Jason Proffitt on today. Our very own Matt Hubbard, of course. This is back-to-back episodes for him. So don't get worried. It's just Scott and myself still. We're just the host. But it's good to have Matt on again and Jason from Sumba themselves. And I guess without further ado, let's finally pull the veil off of Sumba and tell people exactly how their lives are about to get a lot easier.
Let's do it.
Hey guys, how's it going? So good to see everybody.
Hey, morning.
Morning. We have Jason Proffitt and Matt Hubbard, who are going to tell us about Sumba this morning, Scott. And we are so excited to finally be able to talk about the pretty girlfriend we have. So it's pretty exciting.
It's not me though. That's not
it's Sumba. Yeah. Although Matt in his own right. But yeah, so we are so excited. Scott, do you have anything that you want to say before we really get started?
It's this has been months in development. We're happy to be bringing it to the public, and we think it's to say it's a game changer, I think is not too strong of a phrase. With the Sumba app and combined with FunSpot is really something that I think our listeners and our customers are going to really appreciate and it will benefit them greatly. So I look forward to sharing more and more of those details here over the next hour.
Yeah, and one person that is missing from this meeting, but that's because he's out working so hard, is Nate Flock, and he will be featured in all of the Sumba training videos that we'll learn about here in a little while. But I know Nate and I started filming those videos over a year ago. And as a matter of fact, we were just filming some touch-up videos recently. And we were like, this is the exact 1 year anniversary of the day we started shooting. So it is a labor of love for everybody, but we could ramble on and on all day. But instead, I'm going to say, Matt, do you want to take it over and kind of share exactly what Sumba is and how it will help everybody?
Yeah, absolutely. Al, thanks for giving us a chance to show off this platform, something that I'm really excited to share with everybody and all of our FunSpot family. And this relationship really started just from the 6 years that I've been working for FunSpot and realizing there's such a need in our market for something digitally to handle maintenance and inspection, e-learning, online training courses, quizzes, even maintenance tickets, submitting to your team and staff on site if something needs repair or replacement. And so we really did a lot of searching to figure out, is there something out there now? Who can we partner with? And that's where we kind of met Jason. And Jason, I'd love for you to take a little bit of a second to kind of continue that origin story and kind of give us your background and where you come from and how you're involved with Sumba as well.
Absolutely. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Al.
Mm-hmm.
So I started with my partners in the adventure and amusement industry about 7 years ago. Starting about 5 years ago, we were doing a lot of trampoline and adventure park build outs where we were taking equipment from a manufacturer and then installing it in a location. And then we would be done with our work and be off and running. But we would still have some of the clients would call us because they needed replacement parts. They needed to talk to the original equipment manufacturer, and they really had no way of communicating with them. So we thought, man, if we just developed an app or a software-based system to record all of this stuff, like what equipment goes into a facility, who the manufacturer was, how to get them in touch with each other. And that was our idea, to develop the software. And then throughout all of my experience in the industry doing retrofits and refits, I saw a lot of FunSpot equipment out there. Really liked what I saw as far as that brand and just how detailed and accurate and really high quality equipment was. So I was like, man, I really need to get partnered up with these guys. They really know what they're doing. So I met Matt at IAPA, and we took it from there, and we kind of both saw the mutual vision that we really wanted to bring to the industry, and we figured we could do it together, and it's been a wonderful development ever since.
Yeah, nice. And behind the scenes at FunSpot, we were really trying to develop our own platform for our e-learning content. So
yes, we
it was
were
kind of a blessing in disguise. When I say planning, we were merely brainstorming and really getting Nate involved to shoot some really great content for these videos. But we, besides maybe putting them in a Dropbox folder, didn't really have a great way to deliver this content to our clients that they'd been asking for. Having been here for about 6 years, one thing that I get calls about all the time is, how do we get Nate back out to do training, right? And is that cost conducive to do, for our customers, and could there be a better way to do it? So when Jason really kind of came to us with the software that he had to also do maintenance and inspection, it was a no-brainer, right? And so I kind of want to demo my piece of this, which is the Sumba app for the first time, the e-learning training portal, and then at some point I'll hand it over to Jason to kind of demo the maintenance and inspection piece. So Sumba is an app-based software, so it also has a backend, which you'll see a demo as well from that you can access from a PC. But for my part of the demo, I'm going to actually be having my iPad up and going. So you're going to still see me on camera from my Mac, but what I've just enabled is my iPad. So here I'm going to enable the Sumba app. And so up on my screen, you may also see, here's my iPad. And when you open up Sumba, it's going to have a single sign in. And here you can use basically any email address. So I'm actually going to use my FunSpot email address to log in. And really, the first thing to point out is how Sumba allows you to set up different hierarchies. I love this feature because not everybody a part of your organization may need access to the store location or even to do maintenance, inspection, or training. For me, I'm a global admin, so I see all the different parks in the Sumba network. And but let's say you're an owner of a franchise with 10 locations. You could be sort of an organizational admin and have access to those 10 locations. Or if you're an independent owner and you have 2 to 3 locations, that could be true as well. You could have district managers that have access. And then on a store level, you can have store managers, you can have assistant managers, key holders, all the way down to just court monitors if you'd like. We're going to go into our live demo site for Altitude Marietta, Georgia. Shout out to them. They've opened 3 weeks ago. And as far as I know, things are going really, really well for them in Georgia. So excited about that. But when you open the Sumba app, here is the main dashboard. And so a few things to point out here. So right here at the top of the screen, it actually shows that today's inspection hasn't been completed yet, which we'll get to. So right now it's set to 0%. And as you fill this up with the inspections that you do throughout the day or week, it's going to fill up kind of like a pie chart to show you how close you are to completing that. Over to the right, you'd have a daily inspection feed. So let's say you start an inspection and for whatever reason, maybe you didn't get it done, or you had to go do other duties, or maybe you have a weekly inspection that still needs to be completed. You'll actually see that in the daily inspection feed, so you know what still needs to be done. Bottom left hand is your notification. So I can actually scroll through that and see if there's anything that I need to take a look at. What are the new things that maybe my staff have reported, any kind of inspections or tickets that have been submitted. And over here are specifically open tickets that I might need to review. Some of these are still waiting for a manager review. So on the left-hand side, you'll see attractions, dashboard, e-learning, notifications, inspections, ticket list, and incident report. Jason actually has a little bit of a more updated app, and he'll show off some of the more features that we've added since. But I'm going to go into the e-learning tab. And here's where we see our training resources. This is the sort of the gold mine that we've created in terms of video content through Nate to be able to give to our clients. And so specific to Altitude Marietta, Georgia, they have nearly 15 attractions. So preloaded, handed over to them when we handed off the Zumba app, were all these ready to go, including the PDF resource of our training manual. So historically, we would always give our client the manual for the equipment. Within this, it had the checklist of things that you needed to do daily. Jason will demo how we've incorporated that digitally into this platform. But here, I can sit here and read it. I can refer back to it if there's anything that needs to be replaced or considered. Safety signage that needs to be done. So all of this contents now lives digitally on our platform. And then the other great thing is the video resource here. So kind of give you a sneak peek of that here. So preloaded is YouTube videos of Nate that will actually go through the training for the main course. So I'm going to kind of let this play for a little bit so you guys can take a look at it.
Here are the rules for the main court, also known as open jump. 1 person per trampoline. No flips or tricks over pads. No running or racing. No climbing up walls. No sitting down or resting on the court. Jumpers should be separated by size and should never exceed the max capacity. Jumpers should never attempt anything outside of their current skill level. With a main court, guests resting or sitting down on the court, climbing on walls or pads, and racing will be 3 of the most common guidelines you will have to address. Also, it's important to make sure that the main court does not get overcrowded and that size separation is upheld at all times. This may mean you have to instruct smaller jumpers, like ages 12 and under, on one side, and larger jumpers, 13 and up, on the other side. If you ever have to instruct the entire court or clear it for emergency purposes, use a long, loud, and steady blast on the whistle to get everyone's attention. Give the instructions loudly and try to keep it to around 5 seconds. Be brief so the instructions are easy to repeat. If you are an additional court attendant stationed at the main court,
so what I love is this is practical advice that all your staff needs, and this really adds the continuity that has been missing from the training in a trampoline park, right? Most of the time, and Scott may be able to speak to this, but I would suspect that, and even from a little bit of the experience of being in a park myself, is that, Susie may walk around with a new hire one way, she's been there for maybe 5-6 months, kind of knows the lay of the land, and will walk around with the new hire and kind of train them on how to run a dodgeball court or how to do the size separation. But, Johnny, who's been there for 2 years, may have a different approach and say different things. And maybe Scott, you can speak to that since you come from the operations background.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Now, a couple of things I wanted to point out is that in this app, all of these are preloaded, right? So we've already given you the manual, the video content based on your park attractions. And so it's ready to go. You don't have to do anything from an uploading side, the checklists, the tests, all that. And, as an operator for 6 years, we get 2, 3, 4, during busy seasons when we're getting ready for holidays or summer training, we could do 6 to 10 in a week of bringing new people on. And so doing that on-the-job training, that OJT with them, like Matt said, could be very inconsistent. Unfortunately, depending on the amount of time we had and always pressured to, have people out on the courts and things like that. And so this, in my mind, gives that consistent training and Nate's great, very real world applications as an operator himself in the past to be able to say that Johnny attendant has gone through the same exact training module and test as Susie attendant. And when they get ready to go do their OJT, they're all having had that consistent training, and they've had to pass a test,
Right.
making sure that they've watched the video and have absorbed the content. So that consistency is, to me, extremely invaluable as a GM, as an owner operator.
Yeah, good point. And so every attraction, you're right, is preloaded. What's great, if anything, about the training changes and we edit a video, we update that for you. And then all the quizzes and tests for each attraction is loaded to ensure that they've actually watched the content and video. Jason and I had kind of wrestled with this idea for a while. And what we wanted to do is if a court monitor or staff member, assistant manager, whoever was going to be responsible for doing maintenance and inspection in the park, we've actually made the app require them to watch the videos and take the quest and get 100% on the quizzes, so that they know that they're sufficient and capable of actually doing the maintenance inspection piece. So we thought that was.
Sorry, Matt, I didn't mean to talk. We put in place, you can't scrub over and fast forward through the video either. I mean, you have to watch the video to get to the test.
And also, isn't there a feature to where it takes a selfie to make sure it is the right person taking the test?
Not in the quiz section, but in the maintenance and inspection part, It does actually take a selfie, which I think is huge too. In addition to all of the attraction videos, we've also added in additional video resources that cover everything from how is it that you do an inspection of a trampoline? What does it mean for a spring to need to be replaced? Or how is it that I replace a trampoline? Even still today, parks that have been open 2 or 3 years that may have had turnover from the original training that they received are calling us and saying, hey, we've got to tear in a trampoline, and I don't have anybody here that was here when we first opened to help replace this. And it's not difficult to figure out, but having this video resource just, it's the 1-2 punch to help out the park in need of that. So we think this is going to be huge, and think everyone could benefit from that. So that in a nutshell. Oh, and also maybe something else that I should point out, this can really be complementary to any other resources that you might have in your park. So let's say you've taken the time to develop your own content. May that be employee handbooks or manuals or even video content. That's something during the onboarding process that you can give us and put in here. So I want to ensure that everyone knows that this is complementary to what you might have already taken the time to develop, but now you can have it live in one place. We can also set it up to be compulsory and required in order to move forward and be an inspector in the park. So any questions from any of that? Or I've talked a lot, so.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's important to note is that the Sumba app is a risk management tool, and training is a portion of risk management, right? So that, as an operator, if you do unfortunately happen to have an incident and there's CCTV video of Johnny attendant, well, one of the first questions that gets asked by an attorney is, well, was Johnny attendant trained? And in the past, maybe it was paper-based, maybe it was just a little more ad hoc. Well, this gives you verifiable, time-stamped training that, yes, Johnny attendant was in fact trained on dodgeball. And it just takes all that kind of muddiness of whether he was or wasn't trained and how well he was trained out of it. And so it's yes. The answer is yes, and it's confident yes. And I think that's extremely important part of the e-learning portion of this.
Yeah, great point, great takeaway. I often forget to demo this part, but literally everything that you do in the Sumba app is time-stamped to the specific user. So in the back end on the web side of things that Jason will demo, he'll be able to show how often I took a test or how often I failed it, how often I passed it, how often I watched the video, and everything is recorded and documented. So like Scott said, if in the event something happens, that's easily exportable in a CSV file, Excel file, to be able to share with, your insurance company, claims adjuster, and And so we think that's really important going forward, especially from a risk management side of things. So that's really all I have to show on the e-learning side. I'm excited to let and pass it off to Jason here and show the rest of the app.
You're up, Jason.
All right. Hi, guys. I'm going to
No
share
pressure.
my screen. No worries.
So thanks, Matt, for the first demonstration, and we're getting into Jason's screen right now. But one thing I want to say is that the few people that we have shown this to, as you had up there, Marietta Park, Altitude, and then a couple others, the feedback has been just exceptional. Everybody's, for lack of a better term, geeked out about this. It's pretty exciting. And that's why we put it together. Again, we preach safety over everything else at FunSpot. So wanted to make sure that everybody is as safe and well-maintained as possibly affordable. So Jason, if you want to take it away.
Sure thing. I've pulled up our test app. This is where we develop new features. Matt and I and the software team and Scott and Nate, we kind of go at it and make sure everything works just right and it has the right user experience we want. But just to segue a little bit off of what Matt was covering, we can go over here to the e-learning. And I'm in here and I'm provisioned as a manager for this location. So I can then go and look and see all of the resources. As you can see, I've passed the test. This is what our testing looks like. Nice. It's A, B, C, D, true, false. You can input any test criteria that you personally have. And then as Matt said, you can always go down here and view your history. For this particular user, I can see when I passed the tests, etc. If I go to do an inspection, I hit the inspection tab, and I'm going to have recent inspections down here in my feed. And since I am the manager, I can see what was closed, what was incomplete. This needs approval. I can just go back and view that if I needed to. But I'm going to show you guys how to do a new inspection. So as the user, I've logged in, I would come in and this would be my dashboard. I would click new inspection, and here I have several options, but we've created a shorter inspection for a demo.
And Jason, we can build onto those. We can build onto those inspections, right? So you could have a daily, weekly, monthly, and they could even be. You could do a COVID checklist, right?
Absolutely, and you can attach them to any attraction. You can attach them solely to the location. And like you said, you could create a COVID checklist. You could create a harness cleaning checklist, any kind of checklist specific to your location. You can create it, no problem. And we would be happy to assist you in doing that.
That could be bathroom, could be kitchen, anything like that, right?
Absolutely, and you can provision it as daily, weekly, monthly, bi-weekly, biannual, etc.
Hey, Jason, let me just pause for a second, because one of the things about inspections is inspections are deemed necessary by the standards of ASTM that we as manufacturers adhere to. And so, I want those who are listening to think about how they currently do their inspections. Do you have a paper-based inspection that is visual inspection of springs and mats and pads on a daily basis before you open? And what are you doing with those documents? And what Sumba does is puts all this on an iPad, and Jason's going to demo it, but it really forces some accountability that is lacking in a lot of places when it comes to inspections right now.
Well, Scott, doesn't that piggyback off what you said too about if something were to happen in your park, in addition to how is your employee trained, usually they ask, hey, how has your equipment been maintained? Where's the documentation? Where's the proof, right?
The very next question is, hey, show us your maintenance and inspection records. And if you've missed one day in the course of however many days, that attorney's just going to pound on that. Why was it important Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? But on Thursday, you thought, I didn't need to inspect, and then I picked it back Friday. So this provides that accountability and consistency and really ease of inspection. So I'm going to turn it back over to Jason, but really wanted to point that out.
Yeah, and just to segue off of that as well, Scott and Matt, I am a fully vetted certified inspector through IATP, International Association of Trampoline Parks, which adheres directly to the ASTM 2970, which goes over all of those things for your inspection and operations and what is expected throughout municipalities and states within our country. And as you said, it almost always puts the burden on the manufacturer. And I developed this app because of the fact that the manufacturer that I worked with before had no training content, had no inspection content. So they were leaving their clients in the breeze for the most part. But FunSpot's been amazing and created all this amazing content that will go miles and miles and miles to proving that you're doing best practice as far as inspecting and maintenance of your facility.
This is upping the game. You know, we provided the checklists in our manuals. This is just taking it to the next level and really bringing us into 2020.
Absolutely. So again, Sumba has its verifiable patented inspection process that we have shown to insurance providers, underwriters, and adjusters throughout our industry. And they have all given us great kudos, great recommendations. They say, you know, you use this, you are absolutely using the best practice in risk management in your facility. So starting with that, I've logged in. It's me as a user, only I should know my password. So that it knows it's me, it's recording it as everything that I personally have done as this user. So I'm going to go in and start my inspection. We only have 2 attractions up here. And in order to start that, part of our process is we attach a QR code to each individual attraction so that specific attraction within your location is always tied to this QR code. And what we'll do is we'll attach that where we'd like your inspection to start. So I'll just hit the scan code button and I will scan my QR code. And it's going to prompt me to take a pre-inspection photo. I'll just take a picture of my bookcase there. We'll pretend that that's a dodgeball court for demonstration purposes here. And then you're going to have your checklist. And usually most of the FunSpot manufacturer recommendations are around a 12 to 20 item checklist for each attraction. You will have the opportunity to pass, give it a minor issue, or a fail on each checklist item. We'll just pass a few to show how that works. If we had a minor issue, something we just want to notate, we don't really need to create a ticket for it. We'll just hit minor issue, and it says, do any of the trampoline mats have damaged, detached, or fraying webbing? I'll say there is fraying on the right side of the webbing. And then you could take a photo. So I'll just take a photo. The more information you can give to your team, the better. The more information you can give to your insurance adjuster or your attorneys that are defending you on a claim, the better as well. So I'll hit done on that. And then we'll pass a few more and we'll go down to the final and we'll say we have a fail and we want to create a ticket because we think somebody should probably take care of this. And we'll say,
so Jason, the difference between minor issue and fail, minor issue doesn't create a maintenance ticket, but it would still notify a manager. And then failing actually creates a maintenance ticket for some sort of resolution or follow-up, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And so here I'm going to take, if we create a ticket, it requires you to take photos. So I'm going to capture that. And then I want to take another picture. So I'm going to take a picture of my coffee thermos as well.
So you can take as many photos as you want?
Were those donuts, Jason?
No, those are actually Salt Rock candle holders.
Somebody's hungry this morning.
No, we had donuts yesterday though.
Lighten it up a little bit.
So I'm going to submit this ticket, and what it's doing, it's generated a ticket now, and it's created ticket number 0143. It has the location preloaded. It has the attraction because I scanned into it when I started this ticket. You can add different part types depending on what you've attached. This goes into asset management. That's just another way that you can track all of the assets within your facility. I'm going to assign this to Matt. If I can find him.
You passed me. Yeah.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Yeah.
So again, when you assign, it pops up a list of all of the assistant managers or users within your location. So you can then attach it to anyone within your location. You can also CC other folks as well. I'll CC the other map, and then we'll submit this. And it's created a ticket now. So again, if I'm in here, I can see the photos down there. If I can look and just make sure, go over my ticket again real quick. I could add another comment real quick. Hey, Matt. I'll just say, hey, Matt, call me when you get this.
Yeah, and what's also great is preloaded will be a user for that location that's a representative of FunSpot, right? And so there are lots of things that we can do to automate this maintenance inspection ticket process. So if you do have a stain or a tear on a trampoline mat and that has to go back to FunSpot to get replaced or repaired, our customer service team can automatically receive an email when a ticket is submitted so that they can respond proactively instead of waiting for someone at the park to call and get a quote. We can get the email right away, reach out, say, hey, if you need that replaced, here's your cost. If you need it right away, we can have it rushed. Here's your shipping costs. Do you want to place an order? So it really takes out several steps in the process of what it was like before in order to get a replacement part, right? So really love that piece of how it can be automated to anybody in your park. Could be automated to a maintenance guy. If you don't have one, maybe the manager, our team at FunSpot. Really the possibilities are limitless and we can customize it to the way you want.
Absolutely. So once we've finished these checklist items for this attraction, I need to submit it for approval. And what it's going to do is it's going to take a selfie. This is another part of our patented process as far as inspections go, that again, all of the insurance underwriters, etc., fully back our product. If you heard that little alert, I believe that was Matt getting an email notification that he just got a ticket.
Yep, ticket number 143 from you, Jason, or sorry, Johnny Attendant. So I have it up here on my phone already. So I can from here go straight to that ticket, take a look at it, see what Jason's talking about, and actually do something about it if I can right away.
So I'm going to continue. As you see, my pie chart says we're 50% done with our demo inspection. So we've done one attraction. I'm going to go scan my code. I'm at the main court, scan that. I'm going to capture that young boy walking across the hallway there. And then we go into our checklist. Again, this is preloaded at just the initial inspection items for speed of demonstration here. And I'm just going to pass all of them. Obviously, we wouldn't want to just do that. That's an alert for me. And we'll pass it and I'll submit it for approval. And again, it takes a selfie of me, the inspector, verifying and timestamping that it was me that completed that inspection at this given time.
Scott, can you speak to why it's important to take a selfie?
It's important in the fact that you know that it happened, right? You have to scan the QR code, but you can't just put anybody out there to do that. So you know that it is a trained staff member who's been approved to do inspections. There are certain things that you need to be able to look for and understand about the inspection. It's different than being trained to be a a safety monitor, court monitor. So it's just important that it's verifiable. Again, it's a risk management tool, and I can't overstate the fact that this is a risk management tool at the end of the day to help provide a safe park and a defensible park. So,
right. I love the accountability of just knowing that they couldn't just be in the back room, right? Either. Answering these questions, the selfie itself is going to tell you whether they were at the attraction or not. The pre-inspection photo of the attraction tells you whether they were there or not. So I love that accountability too.
And same with the QR code. I mean, I guess they could make QR codes and post them in the back office and scan them, but again, the selfie is going to show that they're in the back office.
Right.
That's what the pre-inspection photo and the selfie at the end handle that one for you.
Love it.
Great.
Awesome. So here I am. You see the little approve inspection button. That's me. Since I'm provisioned as a manager, that's another step in the process. If we go back to our list of inspections, you'll see I'm no longer active. In my recent inspections, some need approval. Some were closed and incomplete because they were just a test inspection. But I can view this inspection. Oh, it wants me to sign back in.
Got an extra Y in there.
Ooh, yeah, don't want that.
So if a user's account isn't provisioned to be a manager who can approve those inspections, I guess a court monitor could submit for approval, right? And then the manager or someone higher up on the hierarchy, anyone could actually submit for approval, right? Or actually approve those inspections, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you're just listening to this podcast, you have no idea what it all looks like. So please go to townhall.funspot.com and make sure you watch episode 20. Can you believe we've had 20 episodes so far? This is great. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good call, Al. Thanks for putting that out.
But if you dislike the sound of our voices, continue to listen, please.
We've all got faces for radio, so.
Hey, my mom would say.
I'll speak for myself.
My mom would
Wait
say.
A second.
So segueing off of where I was before on the inspection process, as the manager, I've come back in and I clicked on this inspection. I'll just go back to the list. I'll click here to view it. I can look at, I see main court was good, extreme dodgeball was bad. So I'm going to click on that. I see there is spraying on the right side of the webbing. So there's a photo, might need to check into that. I could go down and I can view this ticket and just see all of the items in there. Okay. And then
And Jason, what's also great too is if I saw that come into my email, I could actually go and log in and actually chat with you underneath that ticket, right? So I could put in there, hey Jason, I spoke to FunSpot. They're getting me a new trampoline mat, and the ETA is on Friday. And then you would then be updated to let you know that it's been taken care of.
Absolutely. So now that as the manager, I've looked at this inspection, I know what happened. I'm going to approve it. So it's now then recorded. It's in our log as a certified and verified user inspection, and as well, it's been approved by the manager. So you have 2 layers of defensibility right there built into your facility for that day. And as Matt said, we can go over here on another icon, and we just have our open and closed tickets. So I could go down and I could view closed ones, just historical record, and then I can look at the ones that are currently open. And I can look in here and I can see, and I can read the comments. I yelled at Matt, but he didn't have anything to say about it yet. So we're still open on that ticket. And then one of our other, or 2 of our other options that we have, and this is part of your claims defensibility system that we like to build for you with Sumba. This is what the insurance underwriters really love, and it's the incident reporting. So I can go and view a historical report. This was an incident. Every single entry into this is timestamped, and it shows you which user within your facility completed this incident report. And as
Scott,
well,
is it possible that multiple people kind of complete this incident report?
it is possible for,
Okay.
as long as you are provisioned as a user for your facility, you can come in here and enter this. So say Johnny attendant started the incident report, but he had to go and help provide first aid, and he got caught up dealing with something else. And then another manager and or user could fill out the rest. But again, it records who did it, and it timestamps it all. So you have a complete record of what happened and who filled this out. Like I said, you have an opportunity to take pictures of the location. You can take a picture of the waiver. This is just our census form. And you also have the potential to, or you can sign it as the person that filled out this report. I'm just going to save that for now.
Yeah, a couple of takeaways on this incident report. Most parks, if not all parks I've been in, use a paper-based incident reporting. And so, you're expecting Johnny attendant, who's used to typing everything, to handwrite in a legible form, all of these pieces of information, and easy to skip over certain things. Again, this gives a legible, consistent reporting for all of your incidents. The ability to take a picture right there within the app versus having to take it on your phone. And then, combining an incident report and a package for an underwriter is one of the most crazy challenging things. And I know, Jason, you're going to get to that, but this capturing it electronically is such a game changer.
Well, and with the paper waiver, it's not inherently clear that you should take a picture of the attraction as it was when the injury occurred. The app with the incident report built in is going to require that, and that's what I love, and that's what, quite frankly, insurance adjusters are going to want. They want to see what the attraction looked like the moment it happened, because sending someone out a week later, or sometimes these cases are sent years later, isn't helpful, right? So and you don't always get the detail from CCTV, but you will with a picture or several pictures from filling it out on the incident report.
That's right.
And on this incident report, this is all taken in detail from what insurance underwriters want to see when they do a claim adjustment. Like, as you see, it already puts reporter's name, and I'll just say I'm the manager. And as you can see, it timestamps it and shows who completed it as you fill it out. I'll save it for now. And then we'll go back and we can show, we also have employee write-up. So this is just another way, like Scott and Matt have said, this is a risk management and operations management software system. So all of your operations, which includes managing your employees as far as their training and their discipline, all can happen right here. So we'll say Susie monitor, disciplinary action, warning, details of incurrence, using phone on the job, corrective action, we can select an option, written warning, verbal counseling, etc. And again, we'll just do expected improvement, stop using phone, consequences for not improving, disciplinary suspension, employee statement, I'm sorry. And then the employee has a chance to sign, save it. And then the manager has a chance to sign. We'll save it. And then you submit this, and it's recorded as well. That's the basic use within the actual Apple-based app itself. I'm going to show you guys the back end, which is the web-based, which I can view here from my tablet. or from your desktop, or even your smartphone when you're sitting on a plane about to take off to go somewhere. So I'm going to log in. I'm actually going to.
So that's an important point. Right now, the app is iPad based currently, as far as all your maintenance inspections, your e-learning, and all that. What you're showing now is web based, correct?
It is, yes. And so I'm here in the web, and I'm going to go, since I am a global administrator, I see everything, but I'm just going to go to altitude, and I'll go to our demo location. And again, this shows all of my attractions, the various inspections, and then I can look at my incident reports here, and I can check them out. I can see the photos, I can see all of the content, I can check out the waiver, see the signature, etc. So this is my way of managing what's going on in my facility when I'm nowhere near it. I could be in China and see what's going on over there.
Completely web-based, right?
Yes, in a real time, all the time.
That's great.
And then as well, I can go to my tickets. I can see my ticket list. I could search via open, close, etc. I'll just click on one here, and I can then review the ticket. I can see all of the comments that have been coming through on this. I could CC an additional user as well from here in the comfort of my own home. One other excellent application that is available within the backend is reporting on various items, ways to manage your assets. You could check your inspection summary, you could check your testing summary. So I wanted to see who all has been tested and verified here at my altitude demo location. I'm going to see what has Sarah, assistant manager, been up to. Is she all good? And I can go in and see when she passed, when she failed, if she viewed the documents, etc. They're all time-stamped again, and it gives her history. As well, if I just want to see overall, I could then
I really personally love this because you can export this data, and if you need to be able to package with any sort of claims submission or anything like that.
So that again is the back end of the application. I'll get out of there and I'll stop my screen share. Is there anything else you would like to see, guys, as far as actual use of the app currently?
No, I think, I mean, again, to Al's point, if you're just listening, we would encourage you to hit up townhall.funspot.com to see that demo. But what a great tool. And again, to piggyback off what we started, how excited we are to be able to bring this, after a year plus of development to the market. And, I've said this many times, this is a risk management, employee training, defensibility tool that just helps streamline your operations. And, the first thing we get asked is, how much is it and what's my ROI? So we've developed some thoughts on what ROI looks like for the Sumba product.
They need to know how much it costs too. Do you want me to kind of go over that a little bit?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah, so we have separated this into two components. So you have your e-learning and training platform that could be independent of the maintenance inspection or vice versa. Specific to the maintenance inspection section, prices basically start out at $150 a month. And that covers all your attractions, all your checklists, daily, weekly, monthly, our support to help you get those set up. If there is additional kitchen or even front counter inspections that you'd like set up, that kind of covers the cost of doing that as well. So $150 a month on a year commitment. Right now, and then for the e-learning section as well, that is $200 a month. So $2,400 a year. So in total, $350 a month for both. And over a year's time, that's $4,200. And right now, we want to get this out in as many people's hands so they can be using it. And we want to offer 3 months free to all those users on a year commitment who want to go ahead and get this going, get it set up. And yeah, we're ready to release it now to as many people as possible.
Yeah, and there's kind of two ways that we've approached the return on investment. One is in talking with a number of the primary insurers in our industry. They've indicated that consistent use of this tool should and could end up in an underwriting credit. So there's a lot that goes into underwriting and insurance rates other than just this. But you could talk with your insurance agent about that and what that could look like for you. But all indications are that should happen. And then secondly is just the idea that when it comes to training and how much time and investment you are putting in the training by doing on-the-job training and all that. I mean, like I said, would do 2 on a low week, 4+ on a busy week, getting ready for summer in training. And so being able to take that group of people and put them in front of the content in a room and have them take their tests and whatnot, just there's a time savings ROI in that training aspect. So did I miss anything?
There's a value in consistency and continuity between all the training too. So
yeah, and then you can't underestimate again just the risk management defensibility. I mean, using this appropriately should make your park better, safer, and more fun because it's safe and it's a selling tool, honestly, of the confidence your guests can take in how you're dealing with your equipment.
Right.
Yeah, and this isn't the only kind of walkthrough we're going to have. We're going to have an in-park walkthrough. We're going to continue to show exactly how robust Sumba really is and how it will impact your park in a positive way. Not only that, but it'll also continuously have your staff be the best at what they do because it's constantly teaching. And it's like having Nate at your park at all times, which is quite the benefit. Everybody that has had Nate out in their park, now it's still a benefit to have him come out initially, but this is just a supplement to that. But it definitely helps because you're constantly having to train new people and retrain people. So, I mean, Nate was telling me some of the numbers of how many people, like how many staff members come through and whatnot. So it's quite amazing to see the turnover and how you have to train up. So as we all know, customer service is number one in everything. That's your best calling card for business. So how can you have better customer service than having people that are completely knowledgeable of exactly what they're supposed to be doing? So
and one of the things we've talked about is I think in the next 2 weeks, we want to do this is a recorded podcast, but we want to go back and do one live Zoom call, inviting whoever would want. We bring Nate on and let him do kind of intro to Court Monitor 101, just so people who haven't experienced the training that we provide can really get a sense for the content that they'll have within Sumba. So I'm excited to get that scheduled, and so be on the lookout for that.
We also, so Al's point, we've filmed some videos of using Zoom in a live environment. So we're excited to release that. And then also, I just want to encourage anybody who wants to see this more close up, more intimately. Maybe Jason and I can hop on a Zoom call with them specifically so we can kind of go over the details. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out. My email is matt@funspot.com. Sales@funspot.com comes to all of us. You can just hit us all at once if you want to. Jason, we can probably put everybody's email in show notes and all that good stuff. Or
I'll put all
on the screen.
Put all that in show notes so everybody knows exactly who they can contact. And so it'll be easy for you to contact. And those show notes again on townhall.funspot.com.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, guys, it's been great to get to really release this. Hoorah.
Yeah. A big sigh of relief for everybody because it is hard to hold a secret like this, especially being a marketing person. I'm supposed to talk about the brand quite a bit and kind of evangelize everything for everyone. And been, I've heard people kind of tiptoe around like, I need some better maintenance, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, oh, we got it coming, So now it's finally here. It's Christmas come early. We're so excited, and we can't wait to see how this really does better everybody's park and just give everybody peace of mind. So, we're just over the moon. So congratulations to everybody that has worked so hard on this. But Jason, thank you for joining us. Matt, we're all being responsibly socially distant, and but in the same breath, we will be out in the parks. I know Matt and Scott have been touring around, so we'll be out and about. And hey, if you want to see this, just tell Matt. He's got his iPad on him, so he'll be glad to show you.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Right, thanks, everybody.
You on the road.
Yeah. We'll chat later, and we'll see everybody on the next Tuesday Town Hall.
Bye.
Yeah.